Oh, you cheeky monkey. That's very cheeky monkeyish of you. Cheeky monkeys everywhere. Just like me. I'm not a monkey, but if I was, I'd be a cheeky monkey. I don't mind travelling out and going places, but this is the bit I don't like. Why should you ever have to be stuck in traffic before you even got anywhere? Today I am on my first trip ever over to Boaty's house. It's something I've been promising to do for quite a while, because normally he comes down to me on a Monday and we do some filming for our shared channel, which we've been struggling with for one particular reason, and that is the distance between us two chaps and the amount of misfortune we've had so far with this particular venture. He does actually complain quite a bit about how long it actually takes to get to you. But I think, well, it should get off, so what's the problem? And so I'm taking a day to do this. The trouble is, I've not been to PNT since Friday, and it's now Monday. That's quite a long time to actually not go to work. You see, on Saturday, I got up very early and I went on a very long trip to go meet and have a kind of, for the moment, a secret interview type thing with quite an interesting person. And then yesterday, it was Mrs. Mustard's birthday, and obviously I'm not allowed to go to work on a particular day like that. And today, it's Mr. Boaty's time. I'm actually finding myself feeling a bit sorry for the chap, because this is much further out than what I anticipated. I didn't even consider that I was going to be going this way. I feel like I'm going the wrong direction, and I've only just started. Well, I'd say I've only just started about 40 minutes ago. This is odd. Boaty, you poor chap, I do feel bad for you now. Very sorry. As you look over the yellow bonnet, you will be completely aware that I am driving the car known as Nigel. Nigel's had a good bit of use the past few days. Done lots and lots of miles, had 2 tankfuls of petrol. He's been down there and now he's up here, and yesterday he was over in Hebden Bridge, and today over towards Buxton. Quite literally a driving advertisement for my lunacy.
Continue straight onto M67.
Okie dokie, here I am on the M67. I've always found this particular stretch of motorway just a little bit, not exciting, but interesting, curious. There's something very lonely about the M67. Maybe it's because it heads you off towards the Derbyshire hillsides. It's very slightly busy here because some people like to go to Staley Bridge or Duckingfield or Hyde, but if you want to go to Barnsley or Sheffield, well, maybe most go a different way. And that reminded ever so slightly of the YouTube channel, I think it's Auto Shenanigans, with the Secrets of the Motorway. I love that thing, it's really cool. Secrets of the Motorway. It's such an interesting programme. There's a shout out for somebody who doesn't really need it. Now then, a little observation I've just made. Peugeot. Some of the 2010 era Peugeots, like the 3008, if you look at them from a distance and squint, they actually don't look that bad. Look, see, it's lonely, a lonely motorway. I feel sorry for this motorway. Oh, it's been a long time since I've come up here. And look.
Exit the roundabout onto Stockport Road.
Tesco Extra. I do like a big Tesco. Big Tesco have, nice beer. Although I have to admit I've gone off beer recently. This really is a rather curious and convoluted route. There's nothing straightforward about this. I was just thinking I was going to be going down a couple of windy roads here and there, and that'd be about it. But
continue for 1.5 miles.
Okay. I I've just gone up one road only to be turned around and go down and a Rover! Gone and missed it. There was a red Rover 400 along this stretch of road there. It's really difficult to actually really be focused on two things at once. I haven't got a clue where I'm going, so I've got to have my oh gosh, use up your own side of the road, you spoon. I've got to use my sat-nav quite considerably, but I'm also full of thoughts. I mean, why would I feel sorry for a road? That's just ridiculous. But it's kind of the way I am. I remember once when I was about 12, I was having this kind of play fight game with my brother, and he had this teddy bear that was about 4 foot tall, and the teddy bear became part of the fight, and I punched this teddy bear and whacked him across the room, and I almost started crying. I felt that bad about it. Inanimate objects, things that aren't alive, you stick a face on it and somehow it tricks your brain into having these emotions. So why would it work with a road? I mean, even I can't fathom that. Well, these speed humps are starting to really get on my nostril hair. And this is a very, very cute little village indeed. And even better than that, up the other side of the hill looks like the road I'm going to be going on. Can you see it just up there? I do hope that's the one I've got
in
to go.
300 yards, turn right onto long lane. Turn right onto long lane.
Look at that. That's what a lovely bridge. What a cute place this is. Charlesworth in the High Peak.
Continue on long lane for 3.
Yes, climbing considerably. Nice steep hill here. Hopefully we're going to go over that rather interesting looking hill in just a minute. Oh, bloody speed humps. Well, as nice as this is, I can't see it being a particularly efficient way of actually getting yourself a long way off from where you are, because just going down a little windy road with speed humps everywhere, super gradient hills where you need to be in second gear all the way, it's not going to be good for fuel economy, and surely can't be good for distance progress. Look at all those lovely sheep. That's well 4 points an hour. Gosh, this really is a very steep hill. Second gear again. Second gear. Second gear, come on. Up you go. Alright, thank you. Oh gosh. Wow, what a view over there. Gosh, that's amazing. Staggering. I love places like this. I'd love to just sit up on the hill there and have myself a nice cheesy picnic if it wasn't raining. The thing I'm confused by is adjacent to me, just over that direction, I can see a properly...
In a quarter of a mile, turn right onto A624.
Just over there, I can see a proper main road. Yeah, I've gone over these windy bits of these funny... I mean, it's been very nice and everything, but surely that way would have been a lot quicker. Where I live, it's just up the road from some fantastic scenery, and never tire of it. And then you come somewhere else, it's different, and it's the same. I don't mean it's the same. I mean every time you see it, it still just looks fantastic. So much to see. It's just... I'm on the verge of making a sensible video here about how lovely our English countryside is. More sheep. You couldn't count all of the sheep, but you wouldn't really want to do. Why would you? Imagine counting all of the sheep. How many sheep are there? Just kept on counting. You knew the amount of sheep there are in the world, and you get to some idea of what percentage of sheep you've seen. Oh, sorry. Poor Boaty. You poor lanky lunatic. You sorrowful posh having to do this. Although it's very nice, it's just it's too far for what we're doing. Ah, look, there we have 2 cows in a field. Even a low bridge is quite interesting. Why are bridges so interesting? They just are, aren't they? What is this compulsion here that I have? I can't go underneath a bridge without it being filmed. Ah, look, a motorway bridge. Now, why am I not on that
In
motorway?
300 yards at the roundabout, take the first.
You know, if you use Google Maps, you have these options you can choose. You know, like route options, avoid motorways, avoid cycle paths, or the like.
Exit the roundabout onto A6.
Maybe I've accidentally.
Continue on A6
Oh,
for
shut up.
1.5 miles.
Maybe I've accidentally clicked the box there that says avoid proper roads, or even avoid sensible routes. Oh, hello, little friend. Oh, another lovely little shot. Yes. Now, this is the part of the route that Boaty has been talking about quite a lot, I'm sure. He's always going on about being on nice roads like this, and you're just behind something slow. And I believe I've got about 14 miles on this behind slow-moving trucks. Didn't mention anything about the other bit there, though. Still think I took the wrong way. Oh, look, I love these sort of rugged, tufty bits with rocks sticking out that, you know, sheep eat off. It just looks, it's just so cuddly. Oh, more of these lovely, sweeping, windy bits of road. These are fantastic. I mean, they're also quite dangerous if you're not careful. This is an interesting view, actually. So many fields all cordoned off with stone walls, and every single field has got sheep in it. As far as the eye can see, sheep. Almost as far as the eye can see, because they don't appear to be right up at the top there. Still very interesting. Oh yes, moo moo cows. That's a strange place to live. Look at those lovely rock faces. It's like being in Wales or France or the Peak District. Just realised how much like a mushroom the back of that tanker looks like. What a fascinating place. Imagine having your house backed onto a cliff face like that. Boaty boy, little boaty boy, looking through the window of someone's house. Look, like a creepy big Tom. What a wonderful chap with his cars.
This is where I would like to have our meetups and Sunday lunches and things.
Sunday lunches.
Sunday lunch.
Lunch.
What's the matter with you? No.
Boaty's driving. He's going to drive me to the shop to go and get some tea bags and milk, because he forgot that I'm a normal person that drinks tea. Just because he didn't even know what it is, I think.
You obviously forgot that you're a normal person who drinks tea as well, didn't you? Because you didn't bring a flask. You always carry a flask with you.
I
And your emergency sandwiches. You're like a hairy Paddington.
It is, of course, a treat to be chauffeured rather than doing all the driving myself. So thank you very much for this.
Well, thank you for visiting.
Well, just got here.
You've done your bit of driving yourself.
As usual, he's not got any fuel in his car, so he's stopped at the petrol station, and it's one of these petrol stations where you're not allowed to put your own fuel in. I didn't think they had any of those anymore. There's some cows over there in this picture.
Cows.
It's a lovely, smooth sounding engine in this car, isn't it?
It is.
I'll tell you what I've noticed. We've just been to get some petrol, and your fuel light's still on.
Yeah.
Shows just how low you run the thing in the first place.
Have a look at that.
But a big crack in the windscreen.
Everything for you, you great twonk. Nah, isn't
it? Yeah. There's so many cows in. You couldn't count them all unless you're as good at counting, and I am.
And replace.
I don't believe this chap. I reckon you're talking bollocks.
I usually do.
This is a rather lovely place. I'd quite happily live here myself. It looks like I'm going to be living here in a minute because it's going. What, so we can live in places like this?
Yes, so we can live in a lay-by. We can start a new life together.
Didn't Sarah Smith make a song about living in a lay-by?
Yes.
The roads are getting narrower. It's almost like it's a trap. Oh, you lovely little friends. You lovely little black and white friends over there. Look at them all just cheerfully having dinner together. Just a quick pop to the shop. And that's what the shop looks like here. Because this man cannot supply these things. We have to do an hour's round trip just so I can have a cup of tea.